as usual, I'm out of breath just from trying to talk. Welcome to today's video where I'm going to share with you what I think you need for a newborn baby, like everything that you need. So this is my second pregnancy. I've actually still got the list that I made when I was pregnant with my first one like 4 years ago. So I'm going to go through this and like let you know what I think you definitely need from this, what you don't need, because there was stuff on there that we bought or we decided not to buy that was completely pointless. But also as well, I need to go through what we need to get because a lot of this we lost during the house fire that we had 5 months ago. Okay, so I'm going to start with like the nursery and furniture, the big things that you need. And what I'll do is I'll put this up on the screen so that you can see it. Right, okay, so I'm going to start off with the nursery and furniture. The first thing I've got on there is a next to me crib. That I think is definitely an essential. Isabel used hers for like the first 3.5 months and then she moved into the bed with me. But for those first 3.5 months, that's like pretty much the only place that she would sleep other than on one of us. So that and a mattress. And we do need to buy a new one of those, so I've put a budget cost in there. I've had a look at how much they are, and at the moment you can get one for about £70. We had the Chico Dream next to me last time, which was really good. I don't think we're going to go for that this time though, because it has like a rocking motion on it, which makes it slightly more expensive than the next to me down, and we never used that because it was fixed to the bed. We couldn't use the rocker, so we're just going to go for a standard one. The next thing I've got in there is a changing unit. So I see so many people say that you don't need a separate changing unit. For us personally, we used ours until Isabel was like 2.5. It was the only place where we could change her nappy where she didn't try and make a run for it. And then once she'd potty trained, we did still get her dressed on it for a couple of months because it was just at like the right height. The one we had, there's like a chest of drawers and everything. Unfortunately, that didn't survive the fire either, so it's not going too well so far. That I've got a budget in of £125. We got ours from Wayfair originally, and I think they do still do it. So I think we'll probably get the same or very similar again. And I've just noticed this spreadsheet will be available to purchase in my shop, as well as the slightly more aesthetic checklist that I'll put up on the screen as well. Just need to make a few more tweaks to this before it's ready to be used basically. So the next thing I've got is a Kindercraft 5-in-1, which I was going to have downstairs instead of a Moses basket, but we decided not to get that, and I think that just like rocked and it changed into a bouncer and stuff, and we decided against that because we got a travel cot in our travel system. I don't recommend a travel cot at all. I think she probably slept in it maybe like 5 or 6 times when she first came home, but it was literally like you'd put her in and she'd be awake within 10 minutes, and it just wasn't worth it. And I thought we'd keep hold of it for as she got older, and it could just be like a thing to pop her in while I like did some cleaning or whatever. She hated it, not going to bother with that. And also this Kindercraft thing, I actually think that I'm going to get a Moses basket this time, because although I've said before that they grow out of them too quickly, the house that we're going to be in once the baby gets here is still going to be a building site in some cases. So rather than just being like, oh, okay, she'll be fine on her play mat or she'll be fine just on a blanket or whatever, I don't want to do that this time. And also we're going to have a 4-year-old running around, so I think we're safer that way. The next thing I've got is a white noise machine. We had Ewan, the Dream Sheet. We had 2 of them. We had the deluxe version and the other version. I'm not going to bother with buying a specific one of those. I found that vacuum noises on an app worked perfectly fine, and we discovered that by accident when I was hoovering one day and she just fell asleep. I'm not going to bother buying a Ewan again because he just did not do anything. He's cute, but he didn't do anything. Next thing I've got is a night light. We had one that changed colour because they recommend that red is like the best one for like helping sleep and everything. I think you need a night light while you're doing night feeds and that sort of thing, because you don't want to be putting on a big overhead light. You don't really want to be putting on a bedside lamp. And if you can buy a night light that you can change like the level of the light and change the colour of them, I think they're perfect. What I'll do as well is I'll link all of this down in the description. I have no idea whether that survived the fire or not. I haven't seen it, because our insurance company, when they cleaned everything up, they reboxed it and didn't label anything, so I don't actually know where half of this is if we still have it. So I think the best thing is that I'm just going to buy a new one. I've then got a baby monitor. We do still have that. You don't actually need one of those for a newborn, because obviously a newborn is meant to be to have all their naps and their sleep in the same room as you. I've got that on there because I found that quite handy for if I was going to go and have a shower and she was in her next to me when she was small and she was awake, I could watch her. I could put the camera on her and then like literally dive in the shower until I realised it was much easier to just bring her in the bathroom with me. I will say though, I started that when she was really, really tiny, and she still likes to come in the shower with me or into the bathroom with me when I'm showering now, and she's nearly 4. So I don't know if that's like a bad habit or not. I've then got mattress protector and cot sheets. You have to have a mattress protector. In fact, you probably want a couple of them because you'll want to layer it. So mattress protector, sheet, mattress protector, sheet, so that when they are sick in the middle of the night, you just take the top 2 layers off and it's there, and you don't have to fanny about finding sheets and stuff in the middle of the night. They will throw up. There's probably going to be poo explosions and stuff. And we found that the cot sheets that you got with the next to me didn't fit properly. So I'll link the ones below that we actually use. They're cheaper as well. I haven't seen those. I've gone through all the baby clothes and I haven't seen the cot sheets or the mattress protector, so I think we need to buy some new ones of those. I've then got sleeping bags. So I know that you can buy sleeping bags from a smaller size, but I think the majority of them start from like £8. And this one is tracking on the same centile as her sister, who was 7'7" when she was born. So for the first couple of weeks she couldn't use sleeping bags, but once she was big enough to go in them, sleeping bags were, like, she used them again up until she was, but I've got, so in the list here, the quantity of how many you need of those, and I've got 3 in there, and I think that is the absolute minimum. They do take quite a while to dry if you're like drying them on a clothes there or whatever, and you can guarantee that there's going to be at least one night where they'll get through 2 or 3 of them. So maybe 4 or 5 sleeping bags. The next thing I've got on there, and the majority of people will want one of these, but I've like crossed it out, is a cot bed. So I naively thought that my child would go into her own room in a cot at like 6 to 9 months old maybe, and then that would move into a toddler bed. She didn't, she co-slept. She still likes to sleep in with us as now. She went into a floor bed. So I've got that on there. I don't have any idea of prices for that because obviously I've never needed to buy one. I'm hoping obviously this time that this baby will want to sleep on her own, but I'm not holding my breath on that. I've not bothered putting a budget in that because we won't be buying that until she's 6 months old at least. Then I've got Moses basket. As I said, we're going to probably go for one this time just so that I've got somewhere safe to put her down. These you can get for quite cheap. The one I've got in here you can get from Asda for £28, so that's what I'm going to go for. She's not going to be a massive baby, I don't think, and her sister probably wouldn't have outgrown her Moses basket till she was about 4 months old anyway, so I'm going to go for that. And then the last thing I've got on the furniture is a bouncer. Obviously babies aren't allowed to sleep in bouncers. That was ideal for putting her in when I was in the kitchen cooking, or when I needed to move around the house doing cleaning, and she was at that age where she wanted to sit up and be nosy. She wasn't happy to just lie down anymore. But also we went through a stage where the only way I could get her to sleep was violently rock her. So I would put her in the bouncer and bounce her to sleep, and then once she was asleep I would take her out. So we have bouncer on the list. We've got to have, that is one of my definite essentials. So the next section I've got is out and about. And the first thing I've got in there is a pram or a pushchair. So last time we had a travel system which came with like the pram that changes into the pushchair, the travel cot, car seat base and various other bits. We're not going to do that this time, just simply because the car seats that come with the travel systems are normally crap. We want to buy a decent one. I've learned quite a bit about car seat safety since the first time I was pregnant, so I now know that the infant carrier that we had before wasn't one of the best ones, so we're not going to do that. So we still have the pushchair and the pram from last time. And luckily that was in my car. It's been in my car boot for I think probably about 2 years because Isabel hasn't used it. So we've still got that. And as far as I'm aware it works, and we've got the pram bits as well. And the next thing I've got is a car seat. I've got like a graphic of the best infant carrier car seats that are available out there. I can't remember now which one I've decided to go for, but I've got a budget in it for £200. Then with that I've got car mirror. We're going to need obviously one of those in each car, and like they are definitely a necessity. So obviously you need to be able to see the baby in the back, but now Isabel's nearly 4 and she uses her the mirror that we've got for her to be able to see out of the front, so she can see out all of the back and she can see out of the front as well. It's great. Sun visors, I don't remember using those. Like, we maybe stuck them on once, and I've not bothered putting anything in for them this time. In John's car the windows are tinted anyway, and in my car, well, I won't be driving for the first 6 weeks, so well, I'm going to see the sun visor situation. I'm going to assess that further down the line. Travel cot probably works for some babies, didn't work for us. Changing bag. So the changing bag that we had last time came with our travel system. I hated it, I never got around to changing it. So this time I've bought a hospital bag for the baby, which I will then use as changing bag afterwards. And I've put £40 in there, and I'm pretty sure I bought it for like £12, and it's quite a nice one. I've then got a sling or a baby wrap. Now, I haven't done any research into this yet. I didn't use one last time. We did have like a 4-in-1 carrier for Isabel that John used. She was a Velcro baby. If this one's going to be a Velcro baby, I'm going to need to be able to move about more than I did when I had Isabel, so I'm looking at slings. So if anyone's got any recommendation for stretchy wraps, carriers, slings, whatever, let me know. Okay, next one, I have got feeding. So with Isabel, I'd planned to breastfeed and she wouldn't latch, so I pumped for 10 weeks before she finally latched. I'm not up for doing that again. So hopefully this one will breastfeed. So on this I've got muslins, and I've got 21 in there for some reason. I don't feel like I need 21, I'm going to have to change that. But we found last time that you get like loads of different types of them. Some of them are really scratchy and some of them are like nice cotton ones. So we've gone for the nice cotton ones again. Some of those may have survived the fire. I haven't seen them, and I don't think that they're where they sat in the house full of soot and smoke damage and everything for 10 weeks that I want to reuse them. So I have replaced them actually. I've already bought some reusable breast pads and disposable breast pads. So I got through. I had to wear them for couple of years last time, and the disposable ones are like less obvious, they're more discreet, but the reusable ones are obviously better for the environment and cheaper and everything, so I'm going with both. I've got the disposable ones for if I go out anywhere, the reusable ones for just everyday normal life. Nipple cream. Like, everyone says breastfeeding shouldn't hurt, but your nipples are going to be sore if you're breastfeeding. I mean, even if you're not breastfeeding, they're probably going to be sore, like, well, your supply dries up and everything, because there's just so much going on once you've given birth. So, nipple cream, absolutely. Nursing bras. The ones I had last time, I loved them, and they were just from Amazon, so I bought the same ones this time, but I've had to buy them in a bigger size because I'm fatter. I find that if you've got nursing bras, you don't necessarily need nursing clothes, which then makes it a bit cheaper. So on that, I've got nursing tops, which I've not bothered. I'm not going to buy this time because I didn't really use them. I found that like button down and like vest tops and everything were the best thing for it. Just looking outside, it started raining. Feeding pillow. I didn't bother last time. I had that on the list. I didn't buy one. I just used a normal pillow when I needed one. Breast pump. I've crossed that out this time because I don't want to pump. I might change my mind, sort of like once I get a few months into it, but to start with, I don't want to. The 2 pumps that I had before, I had a Bella Baby, which was like the best one I tried, and then I think I had a Tommy Tippy one as well. Both of those were lost in the fire, so I will have to buy another one. I would probably go for the Bella Baby one again if it was just the occasional pump, but I think if I needed to do a bit more than that, then I would definitely go for a portable one. Is that the right word for it? Like baby brain. Portable one. And there's so many different ones out there, so I'd have to do some research in that, but at the moment I don't have that on the list. Bottles and teats. If I do need to get bottles, I will go for the man bottles again because they self-sterilise. They're so easy to use, never had any problems with them. Put them in the microwave for a couple of minutes and they're sterilised. So they work. I had those last time, but obviously I've crossed that out, and with that I've got a steriliser and a bottle brush, which I'm not going to need. I didn't use a bottle brush last time, they were quite easy to wash up. I will get Milton fluid as like sterilising stuff because there will be some things that I'm going to want to sterilise, but I'm not going to go for an actual steriliser. Okay, so next I've got changing. So I've got nappies size 1 and size 2. Before we had Isabel, we bought different types of everything, like different types of nappies, so all the different supermarket ones and Pampers and everything, and we decided that the Sainsbury's ones were our favourite, so that's what we're going with this time. I do recommend trying different types of nappies rather than just stocking up on one brand, because you might find that you don't like it. Everybody raves about the Aldi Mamia ones. We didn't like those ones. So we're going with Sainsbury's. I've then got changing mat, 3 of them, 2 for the house, 1 for out and about, like a foldable one. So we had one that we obviously used on the changing table, and then there's one that could be moved around the house as well. Sudocreme, Sudocreme, however you pronounce it. I've bought a mini one for my hospital bag and also to go in the changing bag, but I think we've got quite a lot of that knocking around because we occasionally still need to use that on Isabel. It's great for like cuts and grazes and stuff. I then got cotton wool, so we didn't use wipes for the first maybe 6 or 8 weeks. We just used cotton wool and warm water. I'm going to do that again this time. Like wipes, water wipes are good, but they're quite cold and I can't be bothered with like trying to heat them up. So warm water and cotton wool for us. I have bought some water wipes to take into hospital, but that's mainly for me, just in case I can't have a shower. But they're there in case I need them. I've then got on here a reusable wipe kit. Now I've always said, if I have another baby, I want to try and be more sustainable and use reusable wipes and reusable nappies. At the moment, with everything that's going on with like not having a properly functioning house yet, can't commit to it fully, but I am going to get a Cheeky Wipes reusable wipe kit so that at least I can start doing that, and then once we're more settled into the house I can then look more into reusable nappies and everything. And nappy bags as well. So I've got nappy bags on there. If anyone knows of any like more environmentally friendly nappy bags, please let me know, because we just use the standard Sainsbury's ones, which obviously are plastic, and I'd rather switch out to something else. It's not something that I've had chance to look into yet. I will do, but if you've got any recommendations, let me know. So I've then got bath time. So we, with Isabel, we use like a baby bath, and I've got on here either a baby bath or a bath support, like the Angel baby bath or something like that. We're probably going to go with the baby bath again, just simply because it's easier to put the bath on the changing table than it is to kneel down on the floor bending over the bath. I obviously I'm not going to be able to do that to start with, and John's like, no, it's just going to do my knees and my back in, so we're going with the baby bath on the changing table again. And it makes it easier than trying to decide like which bath support to use. Hooded towels, we found those were essential just to like wrapping her up completely. I've got in here that we've still got them, but I don't know whether we have. So I think we'll just buy like another 2 of those, because usually it's easy to rotate them. They don't normally get covered in too much sick or anything. Washcloths, obviously essential. Nail scissors and a nail file. So I think having to cut a newborn's nails the first few times was like one of the scariest things ever. We did it when she was asleep. We just had a standard pair of baby nail scissors. I know that some people recommend like the electric file and stuff, but the thought of that makes me cringe. We still have those. I say we still have those. I think we still have them. I remember packing them. I didn't see them in the pile of stuff that needed to be thrown away, or in the pile of burnt stuff. Bath thermometer. So that, I think there is a recommended temperature that the bath shouldn't be any higher than. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but I know that we did use the bath thermometer for a long time. We got like a baby care kit that all of this came in. That was amazing, and we did use that bath thermometer because, you know, they say test it with your elbow and stuff, but I still don't feel like that's the best way of doing it. Got baby lotion on there. Again, we didn't use any bath wash or baby lotion or anything on her for the first few weeks because like, their skin is just so sensitive and everything. I mean, I don't think we didn't give her a bath until after her cord had dropped off. But the baby lotion that we are using at the moment is the My Little Cocoa one. It smells really nice. I use it on my face. It's lovely. And I've also got bath toys on that list, but I've crossed those out because they're completely pointless to start with. Completely pointless. I don't think she had any interest in like bath toys till she was about 4 or 5 months old. So they're on the list, but they'll be bought later on. They're not important right now. So then I've got health. So I had gripe water on the list for last time, and we did buy some, but we never used it. And since then I've heard some things about that. It's not great, so we're not going with that again. Cowpole is on the list. I don't need to buy that. We have that in the house because obviously Isabel uses that. It's now October and we are like heading right into snot season, so we are stocked up on cowpole. One of those cowpole plugins I haven't got that on the list, but if they've managed to get rid of the blue light on it, then I definitely recommend get one of those. We stopped using ours because it had a blue light on it. It was just really off-putting, but I need to add that to the list. Nasal aspirator. So that came in the little baby care kit that we had, and I never used it. I tried, she absolutely hated it. But it's on there because I want to have that just in case this one tolerates it better, and an ear thermometer. So our baby care kit had a thermometer in it, but I don't think we ever used it in her ear. We just used it under her arm. I can't imagine sticking a thermometer into a baby's ear because they just squiggle about too much. So I might just change that to a standard thermometer, but we already have that. Okay, then I've got clothes. So one of the only baby things that survived the fire, because they were vacuum packed and then put in a box, and they were upstairs in the spare room ready to go in the loft, so they didn't get any smoke damage, any soot damage, any fire damage. So it's a good job we're having a girl, because otherwise if it was a boy, he was going to be wearing pink rainbows. So I have got newborn and up to 1 month baby grows. So if you haven't already looked into baby clothes sizes, they're so confusing. There's no standards. Newborn and up to 1 month sizes change, whether they're like up to £7 or up to £8 or up to £9. Because I think this one is going to be the same size as her sister, I know that we're going to want some of the newborn and the up to 1 month baby grows. I would say with those, like people say don't buy too many, but I think you probably want 15 of them because they get through them. And also in the beginning, you don't want to be doing like shitloads of washing every day. So if you've got 15 of them, you're probably going to get through a couple of days. Phone's ringing. And the same with the vests as well. So newborn up to 1 month vests. So I've only washed mainly short sleeve vests and only a couple of long sleeve ones, because I found that the long sleeve ones where like you put the long sleeve vest on and then the outfit on over the top and it all bunches up and it's just a pain in the arse. So we found that just the short sleeve one worked better for us. So then we go into like the 0 to 3. Obviously, if your baby is predicted to be like £9, then the newborn ones probably don't work that well. But the 0 to 3 ones, this is like the one where you probably want quite a few of them, because I know that Isabel stayed in hers for about 4 months. And again, you get through a lot of them. We didn't really bother with outfits that often. I mean, we were in the middle of lockdown. We didn't go out that often. So I haven't got many outfits on here. I've got like 4 for each stage. Now, obviously, we've got Christmas coming, so we can have like Christmas outfits and stuff. But she mainly lived in baby grows or sleep suits or whatever you want to call them. And that's what this one will be doing. Obviously, she will have a few more clothes, but for baby grows, up the 0 to 3 ones, I'd say, I mean, we've got about 20, maybe 30 of them. Coming home outfit. I don't think we have a coming home outfit, but we do have a first outfit. So the first outfit that Isabel was dressed in, this one is going to be wearing as well. So I just thought that was quite cute. And that is just a baby grow in a hat. Jackets. So for some reason, I've got like 5 jackets down here, but I think probably 2 is enough, because we were more in like pram suits and snow suits than just standard jackets when we were out in the pram. So I'm going to change that to 2. Mittens. I have 3 pairs of mittens on there, but mittens are just pretty much pointless. They don't stay on. We're best off getting outfits with the built-in ones, the same with like the feet and socks and everything, the built-in ones. And with baby grows as well, everyone says about how zip-through ones are much better, but I don't actually find that. I find that the ones where they just pop her on the legs and then this is just all like one piece, I find those awkward. But the ones that pop her all the way down, I find them easier than zips. I don't know if it was because I was scared that I was going to zip her skin into it, I'm not sure. Hats. You need hats. Like, it's going to be winter when she's born, you're going to need hats. We've got loads of hats, loads of newborn hats and loads of other hats. Again, I'd recommend 3. I've got bibs on there, which I've crossed out because we did have bibs last time and we never used them. It was just much easier to tuck a muslin round her neck than try and get a bib on. Obviously, if you've got a dribbler, then you might want a dribble bib or a few of those, but that's not going to be for a few months. And then snow suits and pram suits, definitely. If you're going out in the cold, just an all-in-one snow suit and a pram suit. I've got 4 of those down. I need to buy all of that because I know I definitely sold 1. And actually, I think I might have 1 pram suit left, but I need to get some other ones. Cellular blankets. So I don't know why that's in the clothes. That probably should have been in like the sleep one, but cellular blankets, obviously, because she's not going to be big enough to fit into the majority of sleeping bags. We're going to go with cellular blankets. They're the ones with like the holes in them, so that if she does manage to pull them up over her face, she'll be absolutely fine. I don't really feel like that's a massive concern if you've like tucked the blankets in properly, but obviously you don't want to take that risk. So cellular blankets, and I have bought those because they're in the hospital bag, or they will be in the hospital bag. But I think that's everything that I feel like you definitely need. It's quite a big list and it does get quite expensive, but there we go, guys. Let me know if you've got any like essentials, or if you massively disagree with this list. Let me know in the comments. But as usual, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye.